Hey there, viewers! A Transformers fan or Charlie Young back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on SDCC Void Rivals Jetfire. Now, when this guy was first shown off, I was actually kind of interested because, I've never had the Siege Jetfire mold until now. Yeah, it has been reissued countless times. Although, it seems every time I try to get it, it just sells out. So, even in 2025, this mold's still in high demand. So, yeah. But getting this version, honestly, this was kind of an event because, well, if I show off the box, dude, look at the box. So, of course, we got where he was pretty much showed off in jet mode. Got his name along with the two figures he comes with. So we got Agori and Darak, and Zetonian Solila. Solila. I have no idea how you pronounce her name, but I'm just gonna go with Solila. And the coolest thing, you get the actual Void Rivals first comic issue, which is, I think that's really cool. So, yeah. This side, I don't really have that. We got the Autobot symbol, the Void Rivals logo, got some Cybertronian. This side, not really that much. The back. Pretty much just have the two with the helmets off. So, yeah, we don't really have a picture of Jetfire. So, yeah. And we've got the EU, which is not European Union. It stands for Energon Universe, which I guess I should explain what that is. So the Energon Universe does not refer to Transformers Energon, thank God. But instead, Skybound's pretty much idea for their Transformers series, where, of course, we've got like Void Rivals here, which pretty much like get showed off Transformers first of all by having Jetfire in the first issue. I'm just gonna get the comic out to show you. So we've got Void Rivals, which is mostly an original story. It just has some Transformers characters sprinkled in, mainly from the third season of G1. But yeah, Jetfire appeared in the first ever issue of Void Rivals, so that's why he's pretty much in this. Then we got the main Transformers story, which is amazing. It's where we got Megatron R Prime, for example, and Shredhead. And then we got the G.I. Joe comic, which, for all the people who still care about G.I. Joe, there's that. Hound appears in it. So, yeah. But for the actual figure itself, of course, it's pretty much Siege Jetfire, just now in a much more, I guess, comic accurate deco. I'm also going to say cartoon accurate, because it does also highly resemble how it looks in the show as well. But just before we look at him, let's look at the two figures. So, here we have Darak and Solila. And they're basically just G.I. Joe figures. I'm not joking. Like, if I look at Darak here, he gives me Daft Punk vibes, which is pretty cool. I like the little, I think there's a knuckle duster on him. But yeah, he does look pretty cool. But you can see that he's heavily using G.I. Joe tooling. Like, he's even got the O-ring in here. So, yeah. And Solila, she's got this cool-looking staff weapon. But, again, G.I. Joe tooling. So, yeah. The articulation is pretty much the same as your average G.I. Joe figure, so, yeah. So, let's just move on to Jetfire here, because that's what I'm here for. Oh yeah, they also came in this little packet here. So there you go. But anyway, for Jetfire, of course, it's the standard Skyfire vehicle mode. And yeah, it's quite a big figure. Like, of course, Commander class was quite big back in the day. Nowadays, it's pretty much just, oh, 2 figures together, which we'll see in my next review. But anyway, looking at all the details, yes, we should start with the cockpit here. So of course we got that. Normally there's an Autobot symbol right here, but on this version it's unpainted because he didn't have an insignia in the comic. But one cool thing you can do, if we move the nose cone down, we can open this up, and there's a little bit in here that we can take out. If I can get this out. There we go. So I guess this is a bit of engine detailing. And what you can do is you can set a Titan Master in here. So if I can just quickly go get one. So we can take a Titan Master, and we can actually sit them in there, which is pretty cool. Of course, this guy's not really Titan Master compatible. Like he's got his own head, but you can still set a Titan Master in there. Although I don't see anywhere else to put this engine block, but oh well, that is still pretty cool. And trying to get this back in, it's kind of fiddly. There we go. So there's that. Of course, we've got this big red bit, which on the G1 toy was meant to just be like some backpack stuff. Here, it honestly looks pretty cool. Of course, we've got the wings. We do have the boosters, which you can plug in blast effects, which does lead to... He does come with blast effects, which is really cool. So if I can just get them out my tub. There we go. So he does come with blast effects, so what we can do is assemble one of these. And just plug it right in here. There we go. So it can look like he's actually just flying. Which is, honestly, I do really like that. But you can see that he does have landing gear, and these are actual wheels, so he can roll. So yeah. Now for other details, underneath, we've got these little bits which can come down, and apparently these are for other figures to hold on to, so like handlebars, and these ones can come down as well, but for the life of me, it's probably just because I'm not sure if it's like mold degradation or if it's just me being stupid. I think it's just me being stupid, but I can't get these red ones to come down as well. But I don't use this feature, but you can fold these down to have other figures hold on to him. Which, yeah, that's honestly a cool play feature, but one I don't really see myself using. But, Now we do have one more gimmick, which I'll save for robot mode. But it's the faction switching gimmick, which is kind of neutered, because as you can see, the Autobot symbol is not really painted here. Because, as I said earlier, he didn't really have a insignia in the comic. But, oh well. And plus, he's not really a Decepticon in Skybound either, so he's just always an Autobot. So, yeah. But honestly, that's pretty much all I've got to say about the jet mode. So moving on to the accessories. Well, aside from the blast effects and the two figures, the only ones he comes with this version are the two big guns. And honestly, I think these guns look pretty cool. And again, yes, you can plug these into here. And honestly, what I like to do, if I can look at the port here. Okay, there we go. Just plug the gun here. Okay. And that's what I like to do. Because with this version, it's actually missing a lot of stuff. If I can get this plugged in. There we go. But yeah. So, of course, this is meant to be Siege Jetfire. But it's actually missing the armor pieces. Because, of course, the Siege figure had some extra armor bits that could go on top. And then in robot mode, you could pretty much armor him up to look like the original Jetfire toy. Here, we don't have that. So I guess they swapped it out for the two figures here. And the comic, which... Okay. I mean, to be fair, he didn't really have that armor in the Skybound comics, but I still think it would be nice to have, but there is still the Siege toy if you really want that. But overall, that's pretty much it for the jet mode. Overall, I think that this looks amazing. I mean, it's the most accurate version of Skyfire or Jetfire that we've had. And keep in mind, this came out back in Siege. This came out back in, like, what, 2019? And they're still using it in 2025. So, that just shows how good this figure is. Because this looks almost one-to-one with how he looks in the show. Plus, it looks like how he does in the comics. So, yeah. Now, the transformation... Well, I am definitely going to have to raise up my camera, so if you'll just quickly excuse me. Okay, here we go. You can sort of see my Cyberworld collection there, but it's just because this is quite a tall figure, because of course, Jetfire was the first Commander class figure to come out. So to get started on this transformation, I'm first of all just going to take off the guns. And well, the guns themselves, actually what I'm going to do is take these and flip down these pegs. You can see on this gun it flips down another peg. And then what we're going to do, if I can just get these lined up, these actually combine into, I guess, a double barrel gun. So, just going to set that off to the side. And this is definitely going to hurt my arms because I'm going to have to do this at arm's length. But let's try and do this transformation. So, to start off, fold up the landing gear. To make this easier for myself, I'm just going to flip out these so he can actually stand while I'm doing this for most of it. There we go. Take these bits and just untab them and move them up. I'm just going to take these wings and get them up and out the way. The arms will untab. And yeah, they'll just ratchet downwards. Like so. The nose cones is going to fold down, and then all this is going to move down. These bits just going to form the sides of his chest. And all this is going to try and tab in. There we go. And then get the shoulders into place. There we go. So already we just got a little baby Jetfire there. Might as well get this out the way. Let's do the arms. So I'm gonna get this down. I'm gonna try and extend out the arm. There we go. Get the hand out. Push the handlebar in. The arm's just going to push into there. Come on. There we go. So that's one arm done. So it's going to do the same here. So get the hand out, push this in. And if you really wanted to, you can just leave it there if you want them really short and squat. Because there you go, that's an option. But we have to continue this, so flatten out the tail fins there. Then we're just going to untab the backpack from the legs. Come on. There we go. And this is going to accordion up. And I'm definitely going to have to raise my camera, I think. I'll extend the legs out and then we'll see if I have to. But you extend out the leg. And then this, with the booster, is just going to close up. Oh. Have to make sure I've got it closed fully. There we go. So that's one leg done. Let's extend this out. With the booster at the back, we're just going to close this around and feed this into here. Come on. Okay, I don't have that fully in. Oh, I didn't have a heel out. And I don't have to erase my camera. That's good. And we're nearly there. All we have to do now is the wings. So take these bits here. Fold these up. With these bits, these are just going to fold up. And then finally, this whole wing tip here is just going to fold to the back. And this red peg here just folds into there. And here we have Jetfire in robot mode. And just quickly taking a rest because, I mean, I'm having to sit on a stool with my camera raised to show you him because this is a tall boy. But honestly, I think it's worth it because this guy looks amazing. Like, if I just do a 360 of him, I mean, come on, it's Skyfire. And plus, I think that transformation, once you learn it, is actually quite simple. Like, I thought it was going to be I thought the transformation was going to be kind of complex, but No, it's actually quite simple. Like, once you learn it, it's really fun to do. I especially love how the sides of the jet form the pecs, I guess. And one thing I especially love is the head goes through these little door sections here. Like, that's really cool. So, yeah. Now, for his actual robot mode here, well, I mean, I pretty much have him above the waist here, so we'll start from there. Looking at the head, one new addition that they've added is the little white square in the forehead. Because I don't think that was there in the Siege version. It just makes it more cartoon accurate, but he does also have that on the comic. I can show it the cover. Yeah, you can see. But, well, you can also see this insignia now more clearly. So I can show this off. So you can see the see the Autobot symbol there. If I just... There we go. I can spin that and make a Decepticon symbol. Yeah, I wish it was painted, but that's what the Siege version is for. Like, they could have easily retooled it to remove it altogether, but, well, they didn't. So, at least it's still there, just now unpainted. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Plus, with this being a Siege redeco, we still have all the ports here for him to get shot at. See, okay, it's kind of loose, but well, you get what I mean. Like, it looks like he's getting shot at from the pack. Oh, I dropped that. But yeah, like from the pack, from the chest, from the lower pack, from the shoulder, the forearm. There's spots everywhere for him to get shot at, which is really cool. Now, one thing I have noticed is these seem to open up. And I think that's for the, I'm pretty sure it's for like the armor gimmick from the Siege version. And of course, this version doesn't have that, so, there's still another leftover from Siege. But anyway, moving on to the legs. Again, these look pretty cool. Black paint from the Siege version is no longer there, but oh well. Now, one cool thing from the Siege version, well, like one cool thing, if the hand's open, the port for the weapon actually goes away. And that's something that they don't, like, other Commander figures don't do this. Like, Armada Prime doesn't do this, for example. Oops. Like, Armada Prime doesn't do this. Devastator doesn't have this, for example. I just think it's... I don't know why, but I think that's just really cool looking. So, you can't plug a weapon in while his hand is open. And speaking of weapons, we can give him the gun. If I can plug that in. So, yeah. And I could put him with Darak and Solila, but they'd be by his legs, and we can't see his legs right now, because, well, I've got my phone standing, but if I hold him up, kind of like the comic. There you go. If I can, I'll probably try and make this the thumbnail. I don't know. But I think I'm just going to show off the articulation now, because, I mean, first of all, listen to the ratchets. Those are some really good ratchet joints. So, yeah. So, the head, of course, can look side to side, can look up, and can look down, kind of. Ratchet joint here at the shoulder. can T-pose. Shoulder can come undone. That's a bit of a complaint I've got. Yeah, bicep rotation. Elbow. Hands can open and close. They can swivel. Waist rotation, which is really cool. You can kick forward, although there's barely any ratchet there, which I feel is a bit weird. You can kick back. You can kick outwards. Pivot. It's quite good. There we go. And yeah, the feet can also move. Right, did I show the knees? There we go, that's the knees. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I've got to say about this figure. Because overall, I mean, it sees Jetfire, one of probably the best Transformers from, what, ever, I'm gonna say. That might be a hot take. But I just think that this is a really good figure. Because, I mean, it's accurate to the show. This version is accurate to the comics. Maybe a bit of, like, the seed smooshing. Like, you know, like, the dirt's everywhere. Because if I show the comic cover again, you can see a bit of, like... Yeah, he looks a bit worn there in the comic cover. But still, he is quite accurate to the comic. This version. So, yeah, this is definitely a really cool figure. I do have gripes with it. Namely, it's kind of easy to untap the shoulders. Plus, I have had issues with these. On this video, they actually did behave, but these bits which form the sides of the front of the jet, they do tend to be a bit tricky to tab into the jet mode, but in this video, they actually did behave, which is a first, to be honest, but these do tend to be a bit tricky to fully tab in, so be wary of that. And also, I kind of wish he fully came with the armor, although that probably would make this a bit more expensive, because this is like, what, 120 quid? So, yeah. And also, I just feel that Darak and Solila just being G.I. Joe figures is kind of disappointing, because, I mean, I get there's like G.I. Joe, like, hardcore fans. I'm just not one of them. If they were like, I don't know, Black Series style figures, maybe. I don't know. But, if they have, like, swappable parts, like, swappable faces, or, you know. But still, I think that this is a really good set. I absolutely do recommend it. I mean, if you have Siege Jetfire already, then I don't think you need this, but if you don't have Siege Jetfire, I absolutely recommend this. Sure, it doesn't have the armor, but still, I am more than happy to have this as the Skyfire in my collection. Like, it can work as cartoon Jetfire or Skyfire. It can work as comic Jetfire. So, yeah, I absolutely recommend this if you don't have Jetfire already. So, yeah, this has been my review on Void Rivals Jetfire, and this is Charlie Young, or a Transformers fan, signing off.